Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys an update to my Performapal deck profile for December 2017. It's been a while since I've actually done an update on this deck, mostly because this deck hasn't received too much new support since the release of Battles of Legend, which I think was maybe the last pack where we really got some good Performapal support. I know we got, I think it was Trump Panda or something like that in the Code of the Duelist pack, but it didn't really add too much to the actual deck itself. It was more of just like a fun, goofy little card, but with some other added support into the deck, and made the deck a lot more consistent and a lot of cool plays you can do as well. So let's go ahead and jump right into the deck profile. To start off, running 2 Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. I dropped this card down to 2 just because I'm running Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon as well, because it helps speed up a lot of the cool plays you can do with the deck. So 2 Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, it searches and it also does the double damage ability with its monster effect. So having that search option and power option, plus he's the main card for a lot of your fusion plays and whatnot, make him very key in the deck. And like I stated, I'm running 3 Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon. Now this card isn't a Performapal exactly, but it is an Odd Eyes card, which works very well with the deck. If an Odd Eyes card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Odd Eyes monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can only use this effect of Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon once per turn. You have plenty of Odd Eyes cards in this deck to use with Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum, including Odd Eyes himself to get out, but you also have a lot of other Odd Eyes monsters that I run in the deck that are very viable in the deck to get out, and the special summoning of them can help with a lot of your different plays as well. Plus he's an 8 scale, meaning you have plenty of room for easy pendulum summons as well. And he'll work with Odd Eyes' destruction effect at the end of the turn as well when you get that search for Odd Eyes if he's in the other pendulum scale. Plus 3 Performapal Skullcrobat Joker. It's your normal summon search play. It searches out either of the 2 monsters we were just talking about, plus all the other Performapals in the deck, meaning you can grab whatever you need for any of your search plays for the deck. Plus 3 Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer. Now this one, same concept basically. When it's Pendulum Summon, you destroy 2 cards, and then if you destroy them, you can search for how many you destroy, make use of it with Arc Pendulum for that destruction effect of an Odd Eyes card. You'll get the search and the special summon, so it's way too good there. And 3 Performapal Second Donkey. This card, when it's Pendulum Summon, lets you search for a Performapal and either send it to the graveyard, or if you have if both your pendulum scales are full, you can add that card to your hand. So grab something that you would normal summon to benefit from with this card. Too good not to run 3. Probably been the best effect Performapal monster we've had. 2 Odd Eyes Minotaurus Performapal. It is an Odd Eyes monster, so take that into account. And a pretty decent scale for pendulum summoning. Scale 8 will always be better, but if you have this in a scale 8, you can at least still get Odd Eyes out if that situation ever comes up. But he's good for the special summon, plus he is a level 4, which means you have your rank exceed plays as well. Odd Eyes in its name, so make use with those cards as well. And another Odd Eyes Performapal, 2 Odd Eyes Synchron. I love using this card for his easy synchro summons. He gets out Clear Wing, which another big part, which we'll talk about a bit in this deck, is the deck's ability to potentially get out Zark if you wanted, but we'll talk more about that later on. So 2 Odd Eyes Synchron, he grabs from the pendulum scale if need be, and uses that monster for an immediate synchro summon. And I also run 2 Performapal Yugioh Golem. This card is in here for its fusion capabilities and another level 4, like I said. Once per turn during your main phase, if this card was Pendulum Summon this turn, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your X deck using this card you control, and Dragon type monster you control as fusion materials, so plenty of options to go for with this card as well. And the 1 pendulum scale is good as well for the pendulum effect of once per turn, if a monster is fusion summoned to your field except during the damage step, you can add 1 Performapal Odd Eyes or Magician pendulum monster from your graveyard or face up from your extra deck to your hand. So recycle from your extra deck, since we're kind of limited with the extra monster zone now for pendulum summoning. Grab it back to your hand to reuse for easy summonings later on. And for the one-ofs, I want to run 1 Performapal Daggerman. He's in here for your warrior plays, so you can get out your Brave Eyes Pendulum Dragon, having that option at hand, and another 2 scale, just to match with your high scales that we do run in the deck. And during the main phase, if this card was Pendulum Summon, you can send 1 Performapal monster from your hand to the graveyard to draw 1 card. You can only use the effect once per turn, so draw consistency, pretty good powerhouse on its own as well, so keep that into account. And 1 Performapal Odd Eyes Light Phoenix, another Odd Eyes monster to make use of, another good scale, goes well with its power play as well, and also 1 Odd Eyes Unicorn. The reason that I have all these cards is 1, pretty much dead draws, otherwise I'm running multiples. It's just that kind of 1 card you want to have to open up with that play. Plus I run Sky Iris, so it's easy to search these cards out as well. And same goes for Performapal Gum Gum Mutton. With this card and Performapal Light Phoenix using Odd Eyes Synchron, you can basically special these out and go for Clearwing Dragon for your plays. And 1 Performapal Trump Witch. Now this card is searchable by Skullcrabat and Pendulum Sorcerer, meaning you have a search which can grab your polymerization from the deck, so you can grab something to fuse with. Tributing it for its monster effect, to add 1 polymerization from your deck to your hand, or you can even just set it in the pendulum scale and have your fusion play like that. Very easy to make use of. Same with Odd Eyes Dissolver Performapal. At the start of damage step, if a pendulum monster battles an opponent's monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, your opponent cannot be destroyed by a battle, and you can only use the effect of Dissolver once per turn. And during your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using this card you control as fusion material, as well as monsters you control in your pendulum zones. And its pendulum scale effect is once per turn you can fusion summon 1 dragon fusion type monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. So this and Trump Witch are your easiest ways to make your fusion summons if you don't have the polymerization or other cards like Odd Eyes Fusion in your hand. And to finish up the monsters, I run 1 Astrograph Sorcerer. Now this card is your main key to go card for Zark in the deck. Like I said, Zark isn't the main key play of this deck, but it is possible to get it out. I'll also show what you would take out of the extra deck that I'll be running to put in Zark into it if you did want to go big for the Zark play. But this card you add in, it's good for the Destruction Search effect and special summon of this card, giving you that option on the field. And that is it for the monsters. A heavy monster lineup, but they all run very, very well together. Everything just searches in and adds itself, and easy special summon of monsters mean for a big, big push play. And to help with that, we run 3 Performance Hurricane. It is a compulsory evacuation effect for having Performapal monsters on the field. Very easy to use, so you definitely want to run 3. Get rid of pesky monsters that otherwise would benefit from either in the graveyard or destruction play effects by bouncing them. I only run 2 Sky Iris now. I tried 3, but honestly it's such a dead draw having that many of a field spell on the deck when it doesn't give you a benefit of a search or anything like that, so definitely keep this at 2. It protects your pendulum scales, plus those Odd Eye searches. You have plenty of Odd Eye searches, and it also has that destruction effect, so you can use it with Arc Pendulum Dragon to grab another search, as well as the search off of this and the special summon of your Arc Pendulum Dragon for anything you need for that situation. Speeds it up so much. Plus the 1 Terraforming just helps to cut back on that search, but having the 2 Sky Iris and the 1 Terraforming is the best key number in my opinion. And 1 Odd Eyes Fusion. This card, easy fusion from the extra deck if need be with this card, so you got your perfect easy fusion summon there. And I run 2 fusion substitutes. You can sub these in for polymerization, the normal one if you want, but most of the time the monsters you use for the fusion summon will be on the field because they were either normal or pendulum summon, so you don't have to worry about that too much. And I love its recycle draw effect because it totally benefits you after you've used this card and it's in the graveyard. And I also run 3 Wavering Eyes. Too good not to run. You get your search off. Stacking up your extra deck isn't as bad as it could be since you have cards like Yugioh Golem to make use of. Plus, you can go for the Astrograph Sorcerer search with this card and special summon the Sorcerer and get a search off, so you don't really mess up too much for your search on the card and adding with this effect. And lastly, to finish off the main deck, one Performapal Pinch Helper. I just like it in there as the extra small trap tech. You don't really need too many traps in the main deck as a whole for this deck, since you're running all of these cards that basically help for your main key plays. This is just a one-of tech that I like to have just in case I ever need it, just to bait my opponent out. Maybe they'll think it's Wavering Eyes or something like that. Attack directly, and then there's the Pinch Helper that helps me out of that situation. And moving on to the extra deck, I run one Performapal Gatling Ghoul. You need one Performapal monster and one level 5 or higher Dark monster. Most of the time this will be Odd Eyes or your Odd Eyes Arc Dragon for this easy, powerful fusion summon of a monster that does incredible burn damage. And one Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. This is the one I go for most of the time with Odd Eyes Fusion. A great one to sit on, make use of the easily stacked up extra deck as well. Beast Eyes for those beast plays you make with your beast monsters, and Brave Eyes is good for the warrior plays. So you have easy fusion summons. If you want to run Rune Eyes, we can try and find room for it as well. I have Odd Eyes Venom Dragon in here. If you want to put Zark into the deck, I would take this out and put Zark in. Probably a more fun play to go to if you can make it, but this is just as fun of an option if you don't have Zark. Also, one Starving Venom Dragon, you need it for the Zark play. Now, the Zark play is going to take some playing. What you need to basically do is get Astrograph in your hand, make use of his special summon play, and you need to have all the other dragons already accounted for, which means quick summonings using all your resources that you have available to you in the deck. Like I said, it's not easy to get Zark out, but it is possible. You just need to go through all the monsters. Speaking of which, also Dark Rebellion is run, and for your other Exceed monsters, Tornado Dragon, excuse me, number 41 Baguska, Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon for those overlay plays. Now, you don't get the effect off, but he is a powerhouse overlay if you want. Instead of this, you could put in Rune Eyes Pendulum Dragon if you wanted to, just as a better option in a sense. And for Synchro monsters, I run one Metaphys Horus. This card with Synchron, you just need a level 4 in your scale. Make use of one that you put there and you don't want there anymore for your scale to the summon. Clearwing, and with this you have all 4 of your basic dimension dragons for your plays, and Black Rose just for the easy blow up possibilities with this card. And then for your link monsters, I run one Mrs. Radiant and one Proxy Dragon. If you want to swap the Proxy Dragon out for a Decode Talker, just for a couple better arrows, the situations I've always been in those that I have the Mrs. Radiant because I do run some pretty good Earth monsters, and that's the easiest with the link of 2 to get out, giving me these 2 arrows to point with, and then just having that Proxy come out where the other arrow points, giving me more pendulum summon options. It's happened early game, especially when I get out 4 monsters with an easy search, get these out, and then just wait out next turn for another extra deck pendulum summon. It happens, but like I said, if you want the Proxy Dragon subbed out for a Decode Talker, for a more powerful link monster, you could do that as well. But yeah, that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Once again, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, Kira Twig out.